Hi, everybody. I am just really testing this out, but I wanted to go live because I am starting another podcast on YouTube, and it's going to be about my book. I see that it's showing the reflection there, but HB. It's a novel I wrote back in 2008. I started it and then published it in 2010. It's a sci-fi type novel with some very real consequential stories in it. The story came to me while I was working in Indiana. I was working for IBM at the time, and they sent me to Hammond, Indiana for, God, I think it was like a year and a half. Felt like I was working in Siberia. The winters in Indiana are unbelievably cold. Lake effect snow almost every day. So, just being out there with shut down steel plants. It was like a desolate city at the time, back in 2008. A lot of boarded up homes and things like that. So I somehow, this story started forming in my mind. I was basically living in hotels. I would fly out on Monday mornings. I'd fly home on Thursday nights, usually. I was only home on the weekends for over a year, a year and a half. And I wrote this story. I struggled with the ending. I ended up getting laid off, I think in 2009. And I went on a cruise in the Mediterranean, and my goal was to come up with the ending. It was 15 days in Greece, Italy, Turkey, and Egypt. It was a great trip, and I did come up with that ending while at sea. It's almost 400 pages, guys. I mean, it's a good book. I think it would be a great series, some movies with this book. But I'm going to share some information, take a walk through this story with my podcast. The protagonist of the story is a brilliant young woman who invents an android to replace men in the world after a nuclear event. Men were involved because it was such a lucrative prospect. And it's one of those cautionary tales where you have to be careful what you wish for. So come along with me on this journey through my book. You can actually get the book, of course, at Amazon. You can order it at any bookstore or from the publisher. And you can find those links on my website, Cyd Webster Beacham.com, CYD WEBSTER BEACHAM.com. And click on the HB button at the top of the page, and you'll see you'll get to the page with all the links. I would love it if you would support me, my book, my first and only novel. I also have a book of short stories I wrote before this. That was my first goal of getting published back in 2007. I'll talk about that more as we go along. But yeah, so welcome to the HB podcast, and stay tuned. Bye.